It's fitting that we should all meet here tonight at the Newseum, which is dedicated to the principle of a free press and which exhibits and honors the work of journalists everywhere. Like the Newseum, Internews believes in the power of information to change people's lives. It's worked in 70 countries to foster independent media, and its work is based on one simple principle, one very simple principle, that informed voices make informed decisions. That if you give people access to information, they will make the right decisions for their families and, just as importantly, for their communities.
When I first heard of what this great organization was doing, I thought, what a perfect organization for the time. There's so many bad things going on in the world, but we're living in this time of hope and opportunity because of the Internet. And I think the Internet can do more to allow common people to tell stories, to bring news, to bring information to a global audience. I think that many of us are very, very committed to trying to use the pixels on people's machines to the good.
This museum is a place that reminds us of all the people that are still today leading such difficult, dangerous, and also very meaningful life to defend the freedom of the press in the world. So, you know, to me it feels sometimes like they are defending the freedom of the press, which means defending democracy, so the rest of us can happily take it for granted, you know. And so for the rest of us, journalists who live in, I'm going to say established democracy, considering the environment, you know, I think the very important question is, what do we fight for, right, since we have the freedom of the press established? And are we capable of not only asking questions to people in power, but also questioning ourselves about our work? And I don't know of any great journalist that skips that part of the work. So for me, when my husband died being a journalist, I felt that I could not keep living being a journalist without knowing why I would do so. And the one experience that I had in the world over the last 10 years was that I have witnessed a lot about fear and how it is paralyzing our world and how it's gripping our world. And I think I have observed how fear operates, how efficient it is, and also how media savvy it is. And I felt like, you know, I had this reflection that, you know, fear really breeds on ignorance. And it is our work as journalists to inform people, enlighten people, educate them. It's also fear of the unknown, and it's also our work of journalists of, you know, venturing in those territories and make it the unknown more intimate to us. It's fear of other people, and I think strangers cease to be strangers when we get acquainted to them and we do journalism with some kind of empathy in our work. So I felt like, you know, to me it was clear from there on that journalism is probably the best tool to combat that fear and empower people.
I want to thank Internews for all the great job it's doing, especially in Kenya, because it's been training journalists, and for the past 3 years, all the top journalists that are winning awards in Kenya are being trained by Internews. And most recently, in the work that it's been doing in humanitarian journalist training, where it's helping to foster dialogue in the communities that were worst affected by violence. And these communities, mostly in the Rift Valley, have started talking because of the training that Internews is doing with their journalists in their respective stations.
Ну, а взагалі, я дуже вдячна саме Інтерньюзу за цю нагороду, і саме тому, що він вже багато років, як одна з найперших західних організацій, підтримує діяльність в ім'я свободи слова в Україні.
I'm also very grateful to the Internews, which was one of the first Western non-profit, non-governmental organizations that were helping us in Ukraine.
І особливо я вдячна за те, що Інтерньюз підтримував нас не тільки до 2004 року, до помаранчевої революції.
I specifically wanted to thank Internews for their support not only before the Orange Revolution.
А це одна з організацій, яка розуміє, що і після революції, на жаль, дуже часто бувають відкати назад.
But I'm extremely grateful to the Internews as an organization that understands the role of the media even after the revolutions, where we do not want to allow our achievements to slip.
The prestigious award is going to put a lot of wind behind my back, behind the back of mine and behind the back of my suit. Tonight is a mark of a long journey with the beginning of another, a journey that will expectedly come to an end. The illicit McCurk trading network in Southeast Asia. My great appreciation to the All Journalism Network of Internews for active support of these unfinished investigations.
I hope you all leave tonight feeling as inspired as I do by these 5 amazing media leaders. And I hope you leave with a deeper understanding of the challenges and the opportunities that journalists face in their work every day.